I don't understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the #1 contender for the last year.
Ilia Topuria made headlines this week. He said that he would relinquish the belt if he was forced to fight Arman Tsarukyan. I'm not saying that Ilia is ducking Arman Tsarukyan. I'm saying that Ilia is messing very, very strongly with Arman Tsarukyan.
I mean, the guy's the #1 contender, and to say that you would rather relinquish the belt than fight him is, come on, man. That's not how it works, man. If the guy's #1 and the UFC says, this is the guy, you're the champ, you're holding that belt, that's who you fight. I mean, it's just...
I agree.
Ilia, stop running, Ilia. Stop running, Ilia. Good boy. I'll make it quick, no worries. Good boy.
Ilia Topuria is facing criticism after his recent statement where he refused a title fight with Arman Tsarukyan, who is the #1 ranked contender. This decision upset Arman and also surprised many. Strongly against Ilia for avoiding and showing disrespect to a fighter who earned his chance.
I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for the title.
Arman Tsarukyan responded to Ilia Topuria on Instagram and mocked him for trying to act like Conor McGregor. He called him out for avoiding the top contenders and said Ilia is making real champions look bad, according to Tsarukyan. True. Champions face the #1 ranked fighter. He ended his message with a low blow and also questioned Ilia's BMF claims. Arman said, "Who is going to tell Ilia that he is not McGregor and that he is making all the real champions look weak champions? Face top challengers, but this is the same guy who thinks he is the BMF." How do you say that in Spanish, meanwhile? Michael Bisping and Paul Felder are also not happy with Ilia Topuria for avoiding Arman Tsarukyan. Bisping said he likes Ilia and respects his skills and attitude, but he is confused about why Ilia would change his mind after agreeing to fight. On the other hand, Felder spoke more directly and said champions not run after only money fights. He believes Ilia is already a big name and has no reason to avoid real challengers like Arman.
I'm the biggest fan of Ilia, right? I love how he carries himself. Every interaction I've had, he's so respectful. He's obviously a monster inside the octagon. He's technically brilliant. He's a class act. He's awesome. He's awesome. But why is he saying that? I think he's just saying it to get under his skin. But do you think he actually, I mean, he said he would, and we've got to hold him to his word.
Yeah, can only take him at his word at this point. But I hate it. I saw that and I was like, come on, man. Here we go. Here we go again. Now you got a champion who's just looking for the biggest thing. And it's like, look, the UFC is not going to try to put you in a position that's not going to be a big thing. And I think you're getting into a position, Ilia, where you are the thing. They don't need the other guy to necessarily be the thing. You're the guy that people want to see. So you could be fighting some kid they pull off the damn street and people would tune into.
Paul Felder shared his frustration about Ilia Topuria refusing to fight Arman Tsarukyan. He spoke against the rising trend where champions avoid tough opponents and choose easier paths instead. Felder said that if Topuria really thinks Arman is not on his level, then the best way to prove it is to face him in the cage.
I mean, the guy's the #1 contender, and to say that you would rather relinquish the belt than fight him is, come on, man. We're getting a little carried away, and we've talked about this before, where these guys in this generation of fighters, when they get to this top position now, are so willing to jump around weight classes and try to deny fighting guys. It's like, that's not how it fucking works, man. If the guy's #1 and the UFC says, this is the guy, you're the champ, you're holding that belt, that's who you fight. I mean, it's just,
I agree.
If you're the best and he's not on your level and all this kind of stuff, then prove it. Just go out there and prove it. I hate.
Daniel Cormier showed support for Arman Tsarukyan as the next rightful challenger for Ilia Topuria's title. He spoke in defense of Arman regarding past weight issues, saying it happened only once and should not take away from his recent discipline and professionalism. Cormier clearly said that the next title fight must be between Arman and Ilia, and he had no doubts about it. He explained that Arman should not be judged for just one incident, especially after making weight and preparing to step in as a backup fighter last time. Cormier strongly believes Arman deserves the lightweight title shot more than anyone else in the division. He mentioned that fighters like Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje have not built a stronger case in his opinion. Arman has already proved he belongs with the top fighters and has earned his chance to fight for the belt.
I don't understand how anyone in this weight class can say that they should get a title shot over Arman Tsarukyan. He was the number one contender for the last year. He was in line to fight for the belt in Los Angeles, and then it didn't happen. It was because his back went out, right? Some people were saying it was a weight issue. Well, today he stepped on the scale, his back.
Dan Hooker said that many top fighters in the lightweight division are trying to avoid facing Arman Tsarukyan. He does not think it is personal, but believes Arman is just one of the hardest opponents right now. Hooker explained that while some fighters give other reasons to skip the fight, the truth is that Arman can make any opponent look bad when they face him in the cage.
He is a very good fighter, and now all those big name guys they've got a good excuse to not fight him. You know, like Ilia said, he's not going to fight him. The UFC says that he needs one more. That's always the fight I want, and not because he's a prick and I hate him, but because I genuinely think that he's the hardest fight, and all those big name guys have like an excuse to not fight him, because I think he is the best at winning fights. Like, he's not necessarily the most dangerous fighter. Like, Oliver is very dangerous. Gage is very dangerous. I think he's the best at winning fights. And so a lot of these guys have a justifiable reason to avoid fighting him.
Dan Hooker shared his opinion about how the UFC might set up a fight between Ilia Topuria and someone like Paddy Pimblett. He said it might not be the most competitive matchup, but from a business point of view, it makes sense according to Hooker. Fighting Paddy means lower risk and a bigger paycheck compared to facing tougher opponents like Arman Tsarukyan or Justin Gaethje. He said that if Ilia is thinking smart, he would go for the easier fight that still brings the most money.
The funny thing is they might actually do Paddy, which is like an absolute piss take, where he fights Chandler and then gets the title shot. Is like an absolute piss take. But who cares at the end of the day? Like, he's not going to hold the belt for very long. Like, and also, if you're in Ilia's shoes, like, logically he should be fighting Arman, but he's not going to, because Arman's a really tough fighter. And if I'm sitting there with the title and I'm getting pay-per-view points and I have to fight Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, or Paddy Pimblett, well, I would take the hardest guy. But if you're smart, all right, you take Paddy Pimblett. You're going to get the most money because there's a lot of animosity. You're going to get the most money and the worst fighter. So it's like a win-win situation.
Javier Mendez thinks Arman Tsarukyan is the fighter who can really challenge Ilia Topuria at lightweight. He said Arman mixes striking with constant wrestling, which makes him a unique challenge that Ilia has not faced before. Javier respects Ilia's skills, especially his takedown defense, but he believes Arman's pace and control on the ground can test Ilia like no one else in the division.
Mr. Tsarukyan would be the one that, in my opinion, might give him the most problems, because Arman's not going to stand with him. Arman's going to make it a grappling war. So it's going to be a war of nutrition. Can Ilia survive the continuous ground attack that Arman's going to put on him? And that would be the test. Can he do that? I don't know. Maybe he can. I mean, look what he did to Charles. Charles came in for the takedown. He freaking switched it on him midair. That was very impressive.
Ben Thomas also believes that among all possible opponents, Arman Tsarukyan is the toughest challenge for Ilia Topuria. He said Arman's skill to control distance and land strong takedowns makes him stand out, especially compared to someone like Paddy Pimblett, while Den thinks Ilia would likely control Paddy on the ground. He admits that Paddy might get the title shot first because of his popularity and the rivalry between them.
Who is the most likely to get the title shot?
I think Paddy is still most likely to get it right now. He's just gonna have to be fair with the number.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be. Who's best suited to be the most competitive with Topuria out of those?
Arman.
Gaethje, Paddy, or Arman?
Arman.
That's what I think.
On the other hand, Dricus Du Plessis has great respect for Ilia Topuria and believes that one day, Ilia will enter the Hall of Fame. He remembered their early UFC days and said Ilia was special. Even then, Dricus praised Ilia's full range of skills and his streak of knockout wins over well-known veterans. In his opinion, Ilia has already shown. He is one of the top fighters in the organization.
I'm so happy for him. I think, we made our debuts on the same fight card. He was literally in my changing room. We were on the same trajectory, winning our titles 1 month apart. So I'm super happy for him. I think he's one of those special characters who's going to be a Hall of Famer, no doubt. Unbeaten. He's the first unbeaten guy to have 2 titles. So I'm super happy for him, and I rate him very highly. And as an all-around fighter, and obviously striking power, knocking out 3 legends, I think he's incredible, and in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, in the UFC right now.
Meanwhile, UFC pros criticized Ilia Topuria for his recent statement where he said he does not plan to fight Arman Tsarukyan anytime soon. He believes Arman has not done enough to deserve a title shot and doubts if Arman can stay healthy and ready for fight night. Topuria was clear that he would rather give up the title than accept that fight.
Listen, when you put so much effort in the game and you have a guy in front who you don't know that maybe he could pull out from the fight, that's not something good for us. It's not on my back. Bro, I don't care. They're gonna give him a fight before the title shot because there is no way. I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for the title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt. I don't do it.
Arman Tsarukyan challenged Ilia Topuria to a $500,000 bet. He offered to put his own money on the line. He said, if Ilia wins, Ilia keeps all the money, but if Arman wins, he expects the same back. Confident in the result, Arman said he is ready to make the bet official and settle the score inside the cage.
So no big bets from your own pockets?
No, I can put the bets. I can put like a $500,000 if he beat me. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000. So I can put it that.
Okay, so he's willing to make handshake bets.
If he wants to make that, so I'm down, and we can shake hand, fight. If I lose, I'll give him $500,000. If I beat him, he's gonna give me $500,000.
However, Ilia Topuria showed no interest in fighting Arman Tsarukyan. He said the matchup did not matter much to him. He described Arman as a low-risk opponent who gave up when it counted. The most Topuria questioned if someone who missed the biggest chance in their life deserved a title shot. His words made it clear he did not think Arman was worthy of serious consideration.
Tsarukyan es el más fácil de todos. Es mucho más fácil que Espada, incluso, te lo digo. Mucho más. Es que no sé ni qué nombre ponerle a él. Tú imagínate tener la oportunidad de pelear por el campeonato del mundo y cuando llega el día decir que te retiras porque te duele la espalda. O sea, no lo concibo, no lo puedo llegar a entender, ¿sabes? Sin un brazo hubiera subido. Yo, me da igual el día cuando me tocaba pelear con Ball, con Max, vamos, me da igual, subo, pero de todas formas. Y él, ya saben lo que hizo, no me duele la espalda, no peleo. Tío, claramente, mentalmente no está donde tiene que estar.
Arman Tsarukyan believes that fighting Justin Gaethje could help him get a title shot. He said the matchup makes sense because Gaethje recently won against a lower-ranked fighter, but does not deserve a title shot yet, especially after losing to Max Holloway on short notice. Arman said, if Gaethje wants a chance at the belt, he must face Arman first and prove he belongs in the title race.
If I had a chance, who you want?
Of course I want Islam, but like right now, it makes sense to fight with Gage. Because he's coming, he just beat number 11 or 12 Fiziev. He doesn't deserve title fight, that's 100%, because he lost just Holloway, beat on short notice, he beat Fiziev. Fiziev knew about the fight 5 days and like came and he won him barely decision, you know, and now he's talking about title fight. It's not fair, and that's why I think he gotta beat me to deserve for the title, fight for the title.
Arman Tsarukyan thinks Ilia Topuria is mainly dangerous with his hands, but does not offer much more. He feels Ilia has not shown the full skill set needed to fight top-level fighters. Arman sees himself as a fighter who can mix striking, wrestling, and control the pace no matter where the fight goes. In his view, The difference in their overall ability is clear.
You see the holes in Ilia's game because Ilia looks like most people, if you're just watching him now, you think he's a striker, but he came into MMA as a grappler. But what are the holes you see in his game? I'm curious.
I mean, he's a good striker. Not good striker, he's a good boxer. But I feel like myself, I'm a better like a MMA fighter than him because I have more. I'm more skilled than him. I got good kicks, knees, you know, like wrestling setup, boxing with wrestling against the cage, grappling, everything. He has just good. He has good boxing, and that.
Arman Tsarukyan said that fighting someone like Ilia Topuria needs a smart plan. He believes the best way is to keep Ilia uncomfortable by using constant movement and grappling. Arman thinks giving Ilia a striking fight is a mistake because it lets Ilia control the match instead. He says the right way is to break Ilia's timing, make him work hard in scrambles, and take away his normal pace.
I feel like you gotta just keep pressure him, take him down, make him tired because he gets out so fast with the wrestling. If you're just gonna stay and try to box him, it's not gonna work it because it's his pace, you know, and you gotta break it, you gotta make him tired. Like if you watch like fights where he wrestled, he got tired and so fast, and that's why we gotta make that scramble.
On the other hand, Paddy Pimble criticized Arman Tsarukyan, saying that even though Arman has skills, fans are not very interested. In him, he said Arman talks tough but does not show the same energy against fighters like Islam Makhachev. Paddy also said that someone like Justin Gaethje has earned real respect in the sport and is the kind of opponent he would be excited to fight.
There are other contenders as well. Are you having conversation with the UFC about maybe a Gaethje fight or maybe a Tsarukyan fight?
I'd fight anyone, as you know, I'm not asked. Just Arman's a very good fighter, but no one cares about him. Know what I mean? People just look at him and think, yeah, you shit yourself to fight in Islam. You talk a big game, but you don't back it up. But everyone knows Justin Gaethje's a f***ing banger. Know what I mean? Everyone knows that if you're fighting Justin Gaethje, you're gonna have a fight. So, and he's a legend. Know what I mean? Arman isn't. So I'd love to fight another legend than Justin Gaethje.
Arman Tsarukyan also criticized Paddy Pimblett and slammed the UFC rankings. He challenged UFC to take Paddy out of the rankings, saying he does not deserve to be in the top 10. He pointed out that Paddy's last 3 wins were against fighters with many losses and called it crazy that such a record could lead to a title shot.
You gotta delete him from the rankings even. He's not even deserved to be in top 10. He beat last 3 guys. It was Chandler, he had 3 losses. It was Bobby Green, he had 3-4 losses. It was Tony Ferguson, he had 8 losses. That's crazy. And like, you wanna bring that guy to fight for the title?
There's the graphic right there. There it is.
He comes prepared. Tsarukyan does his homework for sure, man. You're a smart guy.
That's crazy. 3-0, 8-0, 2-0.
Oh, that's pretty bad when you put it that way. That's receipt.
However, Paddy Pimblett said the biggest fight UFC could make now is between him and Ilia Topuria. With fighters like John Jones out and a Tom Aspinall fight unlikely, Paddy thinks the attention is turning to him. He even said he would not be surprised if he wins a UFC title within the next year.
Now that John Jones is retired, I think the biggest fight the UFC can make, me versus Ilia. Now there's no John Jones and they can't do him versus Tom. It wouldn't surprise me if I've got the belt in 6 and 12 months.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan made it clear that he is not going to wait on the sidelines. He believes he has done enough to earn a title shot and wants UFC to make it happen soon. In his view, no one else has a better claim and he is ready to prove it inside the cage.
Are you like not in a huge rush right now, mostly because you also know you kind of deserve the next shot, but you're not in a rush because you have a lot of time to develop, and a lot of the people at the top of the lightweight division are a little bit older. They're coming to the end of their careers, like Poirier right now, you know, Max. Where do you think you fall in a few years? Like, are you not in a huge hurry right now because you are so much younger than the rest of the division? How do you see him phasing out?
No, I'm in a hurry. I wanna fight for the title as soon as possible because I deserve my spot and I'm here, and nobody can take it because nobody deserves it more than me to fight for the title.
I saw
right now. It's they gotta make that fight. I gotta fight for the title.
So this is everything from today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts about Arman's situation in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more UFC updates.